not about the IP, it's not about the buildings, it's about the living, breathing humanity of it. You know, a business is just a community of human beings, so anything an organization does or doesn't do is a result of having someone that cares or doesn't care, that has the skills or doesn't have the skills, is committed or isn't committed. So actually, business is about understanding the kind of people that you want, finding them, retaining them, rewarding them, developing them, rewarding, and making sure that they sort of, they stick with it. And you know, there's many things that we at Innocent try and do this well. It is, we see as our single most important business decision is who we ask to join the business. And once we find people we think really do epitomize the values of the organization and share the sense of purpose of the organization, then we do what we can to keep them. And the sort of hard stuff is, I think, important stuff like making sure that everyone gets a share in the profits of the business and everyone gets some access to equity in the business. And we make sure that the people that contribute the most get the most. So we think it's not even, but it's fair. It's in line with what people contribute, but everyone gets something. So we do big things like that. We do little things which cost next to nothing, but just give a sense of community and a sense of team. And there's little things like when you turn up, you get a cereal bowl and a mug with your name on it. And we get together on a Monday morning for half an hour, the whole business, just to every team gets a minute just to explain what's new and exciting or important about what's going on in their bit of the business that week. We have this thing which is definitely just stolen from Blue Peter, appeals basically, that fills up and in line with our commercial targets, and then we have nights out and celebrations. We have a thing called Lord and Lady of the Sash, which people vote for, which is essentially just employee of the month, but someone who's gone the extra mile to really deliver the donuts gets sort of acknowledged, and basically at the Monday morning meeting, whoever wins it gets awarded a sash and a tiara if they're the lady, or a sash and a top hat if they're the man. They get dinner out for them and a partner, and they get the permission and the authority to make anyone in the business make a cup of tea for the next month. We have a thing called the Innocent Scholarships, which is £1,000 to do something outside of work that's got nothing to do with work, because we love the idea of people sort of having a passion. I don't care what it is. It could be making buttons for all I care, but have something that you're driven by, that you care about. And so we make those scholarship grants available for people to do the things they've always wanted to do. And people have used it for cycling across Africa, recording that demo album, just stuff that's outside of work, in the sense that I want people with that energy coming back into work. And we have a thing called the baby bonus, which is £2,000 that we pay to a baby if someone has a child while they're innocent. And it's mainly just an excuse to use our terrible sense of humour, because we say the payment terms are cash on delivery only, but it's just a nice little touch to get over the hump of sort of childcare costs and stuff. And so we've always done this sort of things instinctively because we can and we wanted to. We've never thought too hard about it. But of course, there's the harder side of sort of people management, which is 80% of it is the good stuff about finding great people, rewarding them, motivating them, developing them. But there's the 20%, which is about actually sometimes you get people that aren't contributing to the community, that are just along for the ride, or even worse, are sort of sniping from the side. And in that case, you give them the opportunity to sort it out and be transparent about it. But if they're not, you've got to ask them to leave. And we didn't get that at first. We had a 100% retention rate for the first 3 years, and we thought that was a good thing. And in one level it was, but on the other level it wasn't, because in any community there's some people that aren't going to be contributing fully. And we realized after 3 years in we were carrying a few people along that it would have been better for them, better for the business if they'd gone on to other things. And I only sort of got switched onto this idea about you've got to sort of, to protect the business, you've got to make sure that you're not bringing along passengers. When I heard a guy called Dan Walker speak, and you probably won't know him, but he was the head of talent at Apple Computers, and he was there about 10 years ago, and he was the person that recruited the team that built the iPod. So instrumental, again, a great example of you get the people right, then you'll get the business right. And he's a big, macho American guy, and I remember seeing him talk at a conference, and he was sort of sat on a stool with his legs wide open, and he was going, "You've got to get rid of the crap people. You've got to get rid of the crap people." Well, because we're English, and we're all very polite, this really nice, polite woman put her hand up and said, "Yes, but I don't understand, what am I supposed to do if I don't have anyone to replace the so-called crap person?" And he just looked her straight in the eyes and went, "Honey, at the end of the day, I'd always rather have a hole than an asshole." I remember thinking at the time, blimey, I wouldn't say that in front of my mum, but there's a truth there, right? There's a truth. If you want the most high-performing team, you've got to make sure that everyone's contributing.